This is KUGAN CASSIUS for IFL TV in association with MTK Global. We're in Saudi Arabia here in Jeddah. I'm joined by Rasheda Ali. How are you?
I'm great, thank you.
I was going to call you Madam, is that okay?
That's totally fine.
Okay.
It's an honor.
How have you been finding Saudi Arabia so far?
Beautiful. This is my first time here, so I'm so excited to be a part of this beautiful country.
I think it's a lot of people's first time here, actually.
Yes, and it's, I've been missing out. Luckily, I'm able to spend a couple more days here to soak up a lot of the wonderful people here, the food, the culture, the clothes, everything. I'm excited. And more importantly, the fight. I'm excited about the fight.
Absolutely. Friday night, George Groves versus Callum Smith. Have you seen much of these fighters from the UK, Rasheda?
I haven't heard about these fighters. I looked a little bit about their track record. Very, very good, evenly matched fight. I believe Groves had 28 fights and Smith had 24, if I'm not mistaken. Fantastic fighters. I think it's going to be a close fight. I even think it's going to go the distance. But I think it's an honor that these champions are questing for the Muhammad Ali Trophy. It is a huge honor to be a part of this wonderful boxing series, and I'm so happy that the World Boxing Series is here in Jeddah for the first time. That's very remarkable, especially since soccer is Saudi Arabia's favorite sport. So I'm hoping that this World Series can kind of open the doors to boxing and bring boxing back into the realm.
Yeah, one of the main goals, obviously, for the tournament winners is to get their hands on the Muhammad Ali Trophy as well as the various world title belts. But I mean, what does that mean to you that there's a trophy of this magnitude involving some of the best fighters around the world, around the different weights around the world as well? What does that mean to you?
Do you know, my dad was a man of all different religions and faiths and backgrounds and people. He loved people. And my dad always said is that if people loved each other the way they love me, it would be a better place. But our people, they called my dad the people's champion because he was always about the people. And I think this trophy being named the Muhammad Ali Trophy was so perfectly placed because he was of people. That's who he loved. And boxing is all over the world. It is a sport that has done a lot for my father. In fact, he used it as a platform to create change and make a difference in people's lives. So I think him being a part of this Ali Trophy, it resonates. Not just for my family, but for the whole world. He speaks volumes. Even now that he's no longer with us, he's still making a difference.
Absolutely. This might be a difficult question to ask, but if you could kind of put yourself into the mindset of your father, what would he think of today's kind of the boxing of today and the heavyweights of today? What would be in his head about that, do you think?
Okay, can I be perfectly honest?
You can say what you want.
He said when I leave boxing, boxing's going to be dead. He's right. There'll never be boxing, the excitement that my dad brought to boxing. I will never see that again. And he was right. He made boxing so beautiful and exciting to watch, not just for those who normally would watch boxing. He brought people, kids, women, men, all walks of life, all different races and cultures. He was so exciting to watch. He changed the face of boxing because he had people, he forced you to watch it. I remember when people would tell me, Thrill in Manila, the world would stop. No matter what part of the continent, part of the world that you were in, you watched that fight. It could have been 2 or 3 in the morning and people woke up to see him fight. So that's what he did to boxing. And boxing has never seen that excitement ever since he left. And my dad would be so pleased because this room has posters of his face. He would be so happy to see that his face is still gaining traction. He's still shaking up the world. Even he's no longer with us, but he's still making a difference, and I think he'd be pleased to see that. And I think his spirit is probably here, because he was the most happiest when he was sitting down watching himself, of course, and when he was watching boxing. So I'm happy, I'm pleased to be a part of this Ali Trophy.
I mean, to be fair, I know it's a difficult question to ask about, kind of the generation of now, but every every boxer now, especially the heavyweights,
Sure.
they are inspired by your father, and also they strive to. They've got to strive to be
Sure,
like
they
him,
have
even
to.
if it's unrealistic of many fighters kind of reaching
But you
that
have to
pinnacle. But you
try.
have to try and have that kind of in your head because.
Sure.
And you ask any heavyweight boxer
That's
now,
right.
they'll always mention
Of
your
course.
father as their, their number one
Their
heavyweight
inspiration.
or their inspiration. So
Sure. Well, boxing is a sport where you have to have confidence. I mean, and that's what my dad, he was the embodiment of confidence. He believed in himself. He even believed in himself, and most people who were African American in the 60s did not. So that's one thing he did for a lot of us people, is that he forced us to believe and love ourselves. And I think that's why he meant so much to so many people, especially people of color, because he gave us our confidence. He gave us our love for ourselves. And that's something that most people can't say that they received that from anyone but my dad. So it just means a lot that he's provided not just entertainment for us, but he gave us love and confidence, self-love, and I think that's important.
a lot of people say that your father was bigger than the sport of boxing.
He said he was bigger than boxing.
Yes, but I suppose your dad said a lot of things.
He did.
But for the outside public to kind of recognise a single person being bigger than the sport of boxing is well, it's
Right.
undescribable.
Well, my dad has shoes that were tough to fill, and I think most people don't expect to fill his shoes, but you can come close to making a difference, and that's what my dad did. He made a large impact. Boxing was important because that was his platform, and he used that to do so many other big things, and that's why he didn't just wear one hat. He wore many hats. He used boxing as his platform so that he can connect to the world, and then he was able to effectively make changes. He made changes to causes that are near and dear to his heart. Social injustice. He became an ambassador of peace. He became a civil rights activist, and that's all because of boxing. So he'll always be forever grateful for what boxing has done for him.
Rasheda, thank you very much for giving us a little bit of your time and here in Saudi, and hopefully we'll catch up with you on Friday night.
That sounds
It's
fantastic.
gonna
I'm
be a
looking
great
forward
night.
to it. It's going to be a great fight.
Absolutely.
Thanks
Thank you
for
very
having
much for your
me.
time.
Thank you.